Hey guys, it's Ravi Tsunami 2000 here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a mod showcase. Now, as this is the first video that I'm going to be speaking in, I want to make it a bit special, so I'm going to be doing about a mod that I've really enjoyed in the past, and I find really useful. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to start with the pipes, because they are the main kind of processes, well, not processes as such, but the most useful thing in the game, and I think they're really important. So let's start off with the wooden transport pipe. Now this is one of the most useful pipes, but also one of the most easy to craft. So I'll just pick this up here. All you need is 2 of any wood and a glass bottle to give you, how much? 8 of them? So that's quite a cheap recipe. The only problem is, a lot of people who are new to Buildcraft tend to do this mistake. They'll make about 60 of them, but here's a trick. They're extraction pipes, which means that they can't actually connect up with each other. So let me give myself a wooden pipe here, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Oh no, that's a fluid pipe. Oh yeah, and I might get to those fluid pipes later because they are quite important. Here we are, wooden transport pipe. So see how they won't actually connect up to each other, but it'll connect to other transport pipes? This is because it's used to extract items from a particular inventory block, so such as chests or dispensers, and it actually won't connect up with itself. You need other transport pipes to do that job. So I'm going to start off with the cobblestone transport pipe, which is by far the most simple and easy to make transport pipe that actually transports things, unlike Mr. Wood transport pipe that doesn't actually do anything. So it's just the same as wood except cobblestone. I'm not going to go over any more crafting recipes until the end maybe, because they're all just about the same. Cobblestone pipes, pretty much just average pipe. It's slow, so items that go through it will be very slow, but it's also cheap and you can make a lot of them. A unique thing about it, however, is that it won't connect up to stone transport pipes, which, by the way, has a faster speed because it's more expensive to make. And probably the most cost-efficient thing to connect these two is the sandstone transport pipe. Now, an interesting thing about the sandstone transport pipe is that it won't actually connect up to other sandstone transport pipes, kind of like the wooden one, but it will connect other pipes. So it's kind of useful as a bit of a link between those two. But you can also make some interesting little things where you could, have a stone pipe and a cobblestone pipe directly next to each other, so you don't have to worry about having to put them over a block apart so that they don't have items going through them. Next, we have the iron transport pipe, which is very useful. I'm going to go demonstrate it with a little item in here called the wrench, which lets you interact with the items in Buildcraft. Now, in a lot of mods with kind of machines, you'll have a wrench, which usually lets you turn things around. Now, let me just see if I can pick this up. Okay, you know what, I'll do that later. But if there's multiple things that, and I'll get to these later, these connect up to. So let's say there's a wooden pipe here and a wooden pipe there, and this thing interacts with both of them, but it only connects to one of them. You can use the wrench to turn it to whichever one you want. Actually, I might just show you that now. So it'll turn it to whichever one you want it to power. But I'll get to that in a minute. So with the wrench, you can alter the iron transport pipes. Now, these iron transport pipes are very useful because you can use them to sort your items. It's a one-way pipe in essence. So if I chuck the wooden pipe here and I want the items to go from here to here, then I'm going to need to change this like that, because usually Buildcraft. What's wrong with me? Maybe it's because it's the first video. Usually pipes will evenly distribute items, so it'll go through here, and then you'll get a 50-50 chance that it'll go through there or there. And also, if an item goes through a pipe with no actual inventory thing, it'll just fly out. It's a bit crazy, but yeah. Just thought I'd drop that by. But the iron pipe is really useful in the way you can sort out. So if it's got that little ridge there, don't think that it's going to stop the item here. I am fairly certain. Actually, I might just go check there. Of course, I forgot a lever. Anyway, actually, I might just get to this one first. This is a redstone engine, and you craft those with. Let me get to there. You craft those with. Okay, I might just do that later, since I can't seem to find it right now. But you craft those with some redstone, some gears, a bit of glass, and a piston. Anyway, so this will if you power a wooden pipe with a redstone engine, oh, and here's another thing about engines, the more you have them powered on, so these are the kind of different tiers, like a Stirling engine and a combustion engine. They get more powerful, but I'll get to them in a second. They heat up, which means they actually work faster and more efficiently, but when they reach their maximum kind of heat, they also have a chance of exploding. Now, redstone engines, if you power them, and they're actually doing something, they don't actually explode, but if they're powering nothing, and you're having them going full blast, they actually can explode, but they do very little explosions. Now, where's my wrench? Where on earth did I put my wrench? Okay, I found my wrench, and while I was waiting for it, you can see this redstone engine has actually heated up some more. This is the second before maximum heat it can get, and if there was no wooden pipe here, in one stage, it has a chance of exploding. Now, depending on their tier, I might as well just get to engines now since I got rudely interrupted by these guys. Engines work like this. So a redstone engine, if they explode, which is only if they're not powering any pipes or anything, their explosion is minimal, and I think they only take out like 3 blocks or something. Stirling engines, on the other hand, which is made from kind of like stone and stuff, I'll have to go over the crafting recipes later, is a little bit more impressive. I think it does about like a TNT kind of thing, like this entire side of the wall would just be gone if this thing overheats and explodes, and these things can overheat even if they are powering a pipe or something, so you definitely want to look out for those. And combustion engines, which are even more so special, because Stirling engines work like this: you power them with redstone, you put fuel in them, and then it works. Redstone engines, they work just for rid of redstone. Combustion engines, however, they're a little bit more complicated. Now this slot here is for putting buckets of oil or fuel in, so you can fill up the slots. This is oil, this is fuel, and this is water, because the second slot here is for water, because if these overheat, I'm pretty sure it does this enormous explosion, and that's definitely not something you want, especially if it's in the middle of your machine. And you can see that this is definitely getting really hot, and if there was no pipe here, then it would definitely have a chance of exploding. Anyway, I might go on a little bit more detail about these guys on part 2 of this video, which will be coming out soon, don't you worry. Anyway, this is the iron transport pipe, and we just went over it briefly, but we didn't get to see the item actually going through it. Now, don't worry if that little thing there, you think it doesn't actually make the item pop out if it hits that. I don't think so anyway. I'm pretty sure that just means it can go through, but it can't go back. So if I had an item going over here, then it actually would have nowhere to go, so it would just pop out. Where there's an item going in from here, will go through, and it can't go over here, because that's actually blocked off. So that's why iron pipes are so useful. Now I might as well quickly get to the lapis, which is a new pipe that just came out. So I'm not too sure how it operates, but it works by, well, it says painting, and you can see how it's done those little black things, but I'm not too sure what they do, so hopefully someone can tell me. And this is the void pipe at the end. And yes, it is the end for any item that goes through it. It acts as a trash can pipe. So that goes well actually with the obsidian pipe, which actually sucks up items, so whoop. Oh yeah, sorry, there's nothing connected to it, so if I do a wooden transport pipe here and then throw one of my apples, it gets sucked into it, and boom. So that's really useful for that kind of stuff, especially if you want to be collecting stuff. It's kind of like a hopper, except it works a bit on a wider radius. But yeah, so that would work well as a kind of trash can. If you'd have an obsidian pipe there and a void pipe there, you just chuck your stuff in there and it would go down here and get disintegrated. Anyway, so the iron transport pipe is useful. Lapis transport pipe, I think it's tied up to the Mzuli transport pipe, which I also have no idea what it does, but I decided to include it because it's in the new update. And we're just going to do the things that I do know. Quartz transport pipe, I think, is just pretty much a good old pipe, like a cobblestone, except faster. And diamond, ooh, now we're getting technical. Diamond is very useful. Just put this over here, because it is a sorting pipe. So right click on this, and it looks pretty complicated, but it's actually not that hard. Filters. So what they mean by that is, if I grabbed a carpet, let's grab 2 red carpets. Yes, I know I got red carpets. Thank you, text. And I'll chuck them in here. Now what I want to do is, because this is green, which means any items that are in the green filter will go down here, and it works for all the sides, and you can't actually see all the colors because they appear if you have you know, them sticking out from the top, the left, the right, and it all really comes down to which one you actually have. So basically, if you have something in the black filter, which isn't appearing right now, because as I discussed before, unless you have a pipe coming out from the left, I think, then black won't actually appear. So right now it's showing red and blue, because those are the only two ends that are connected to other pipes. But anyway, so I'm gonna check. Can I check my carpets in here? Did I? I don't know. So let's just chuck a carpet in here. Anyway, yeah, so as you can see... Oh, no way, I forgot to put one in there. Oh god, oh, by the way, it went that way instead of this way, so you can see that it kind of randomizes the chances of it. Alright, so what you do is you right-click it, and it'll set... So now, every time the red carpet item will come through, it'll go through the red side of the pipe. So that's really useful, especially when you're in the advanced stages of pipeline. And so now I'm just going to quickly jump to the emerald transport pipe instead of the Emzuli transport pipe, which is a bit more complicated. The emerald transport pipe is essentially a wooden transport pipe, except fancier. And I think it's a little faster too. I'm just going to nominous apple. Anyway, we've already gone over the obsidian transport pipe. The cobblestone structure pipe is a cheap and relatively easy to get by pipe. So I'm just going to show you the crafting recipe. You just need a cobblestone transport pipe, which is 2 cobblestone and glass, as well as a piece of gravel. It's a bit strange because it's only called a cobblestone transport pipe, not a gravel one. But I guess that kind of makes sense. You can see it's kind of filled up, and this will not connect to any pipes. It won't connect to any, as you can see. This is because it is made actually to hold wires and not connect to any other pipes. And I'll get to wires in a second. In fact, probably I won't get to them until the next episode, because that is getting really technical. And next we have the striped transport pipe. Now this one is very kind of mystical. I think it was in an update a long time ago, and they put it back again, but I'm not exactly sure how it works at all. I think they said something about it being able to interact with the environments, like placing blocks and destroying them, but I really don't know. And yeah, so just you might have to check that up on yourself, or I might include it in part 2 of this video. So let's just see what happens here. I know, get rid of the iron pipe just so it makes sure it goes. That's my history and pipes. Right, let's just see if I can do this. Wow, genius, Ravi. Come on, I want to see what it does. Oh, come on. Okay, let's do this very carefully. Very carefully. Okay, nothing happens. Yeah, I really don't know what's the deal with these striped transport pipes, so you might have to find that out by yourself. Now I'm just going to get these set up here, and right now I'm going to move on to the machine. So the first one is the architect table. Now this is, ooh, this is new. That's interesting. I've only seen this in its earlier stages. Okay, I might just skip that for now. This is the mining well. Now I can't actually right click on it, just right clicking it right now. Basically this is something you'll power with one of these engines here. Actually, this mod also works with any other mod powers, and usually better than the ones in this, because these just, so the way an engine works is, it'll go, oh, this thing's gonna blow up. If it was powering that wooden one anyway. It does 1 charge per kind of shove, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's a lot faster than when it's blue too. But and even at full speed, that's not super quick, and with the other ones, it's really dangerous. Oh, by the way, none of these machines can be powered by a redstone engine. This one only powers wind transport pipes and emerald ones. It's made solely to the extraction of items from inventory blocks. But anyway, so the mining well, you power with a Stirling engine or a combustion engine, and what it does is, pretty much what it's called, really. You just mine straight down and leaves a kind of wire block in its place. And when you destroy this one, I think the wire blocks disappear. And items will pop out the top or any of the sides. And all you need to do to stop that is connect it up to a pipe and then an inventory. And you don't actually have to have a wooden engine powering a wooden pipe. You can just have anything because it's just automatically coming out. And the more you power it, the faster it goes down. When it hits bedrock, it stops moving. So a fairly basic kind of mining thing. Next is the quarry. Now the quarry is a lot more interesting, and I'm just gonna quickly mine out this block here. As you can see, there's those kind of stripe lines, and I'll get to that in a second. They're actually from this quarry here, and you can't right click on this either, but when you power it, so when you place it down, it'll do like a big square with yellow and black stripe lines, a bit like this, as you can see. And what happens when you power it is it does a bit of the same as the mining well. First, it'll clear out anything in that square, and then it'll start mining down on a big kind of grid pattern, and the items will start flying out here. So it's just a big kind of an extended version of the mining well. It's a lot bigger, on a bigger area. Next is the pump. Now the pump is pretty unique. It lets you take water from a water source, and it's very useful, especially when you team it up with one of these combustion engines, because you want to keep these babies real cool, because if they blow up, woohoo, goodbye factory. So you're going to want to have a 2x2 water source with a pump on a corner, hook that up to one of your combustion engines, and with a wooden, I think you use a wooden, actually I'm not too sure, I think, oh yeah, you just need a Stirling engine or something connected up to this pump, and it'll give you a constant source of water without you having to use buckets. On the other hand, the Stirling engine could overheat, and that wouldn't be the best. But yeah, anyway, they work well with that. But also, there's an interesting thing, you can't actually use transport pipes to move the water. You need to use a fluid pipe, which is basically the same except it transports water. And I think there's all the different kinds of pipes in there too. Actually, I've forgotten a pipe, which is kind of crazy because it's one of the most amazing ones. It is the butter pipe, otherwise known as gold. And wait, gold where are you? I will find you. Here we are. Golden transport pipe, even better. And this basically just speeds up items, so it's the fastest one. So if I'm just going to replace this cobblestone one for a second, and chuck it in here, wait for it till it hits the gold one, and whoop, see that? And if you have multiple of them, and you power them with redstone, it actually goes really, really quickly. Now, I'm see if it... Okay, change this mine, because it's a one-way pipe. Alright, I might just grab this real quick. Yes, I have OCD. I must put all the pipes back in where they came from. And a golden pipe. In a symmetrical area. Next is the auto workbench, which is essentially a normal crafting table, except you can automate crafting. So let me just get some wood. And make a chest. And basically, it automatically crafts the chests. So that's really useful, and also, if you put any kind of stackable items like this, what I'm doing right now, and then have a pipe go up to it, it will... Oh, and you have to take the item out before it starts doing that automatically again. So it won't use up all your resources. What you want to have is a pipe on the left, putting all the materials in, and that'll automatically stack onto the ones already there, and a pipe on the right, taking all the stuff from this end out. So you can have literally an automatic thing going from left to right. You can't like grab the chest here. I'm left clicking it right now, so it does take some time. So if you're just going to be doing a lot of manual stuff, don't go for the auto workbench. It's not that good. But if you want to have an automatic crafting system, it can actually be really useful. So you could have a pickaxe making thing with iron going in from your quarry over here, and then some sticks from your tree farm over there, I don't know. And then out this end, into a chest, you could have your pickaxes going in here. Next is the refinery, which basically, I'm not too sure about this new one, but as far as I'm concerned, you just get buckets of oil, you power it, and you get a bucket of fuel. Simple as that, and I think that's how it works. You can usually use fluid pipes, but you might need to look into that a little bit yourself. But yes, it is essentially used to turn oil into fuel, which is much better for the combustion engine. So you can just put in crude oil into the combustion engine to power it, but it's a lot better to use fuel. Next is the builder, which I actually will postpone for now because it's just so complicated, and I want to do that outside with a little demonstration rig I've got. So I'm going to skip right to the chute, which is actually kind of one of the worst items in this mod. Yes, I said it, the worst, because it's essentially a hopper, except it doesn't look as good. So this is a hopper. You've probably all seen it. It looks better than that, right? I mean, look, it's even got a cavity. You can even stand in the cavity. You can look like you're in a little bath or a toilet. I really don't know. But the thing about this is it's just a normal hopper. Not only that, look at what a hopper does. Whoop, normal Minecraft hopper. Shoot. Yep, not too good. Now I'm just going to go myself a pickaxe, because I was silly enough to put down a hopper without a pickaxe. Anyway, my inventory's getting a bit messy here, isn't it? But anyway, yeah, so chute's not the best item, and I don't really see why they added it in, since they also have pipes, something 20 times better than any of the chutes you can ever get. So, a chute, I don't know, and it's also quite expensive. It's basically a normal hopper, except with a stone gear. So, oops, my bad. Boom. So, and a stone gear is fairly cheap, because it's 4 sticks, 4 cobble, and a 5 iron and a chest. It just seems a bit pointless, since normal hoppers are cheaper, better looking, and actually more effective. And this is a blueprints library. Now I'm going to get to that in a bit, because it is decently complicated, and it's a bit hard to get your head around to it. I'm going to move on to these, which is the laser and the assembly table. Now the thing about these, actually I want to try something. La 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 la. What? No, just throw them all. Go. I don't want you in my life anymore. Go. Farewell. Farewell. I'll meet you in heaven. Alright, after that destruction rant I just went on. This is, so, the laser and the assembly table. Now, the assembly table is used to create chipsets, which are used in gates, but not your regular, fence gate. I'm meaning like gates that you can put on pipes that can regulate how they operate, but I'll get to that in part 2, because that is really technical stuff. And so is this, to be honest, because I'm not exactly sure what the crafting recipes are for these things, except the most basic, which is the redstone chipset. But I'm just going to turn on this little machine I have here, which is actually just a Stirling engine underneath it. And it should start powering it. Have I done something wrong? Have I, in my foolishness, done something terribly wrong? Well, that looks like it's powering it. Alright. I think I might have to stick on the technical difficulties thing. Unless I've done something as simple as not putting it in the right direction. You gonna work? Are you gonna work? Are you gonna work? Do I have to click this, or... okay, I am... lost... Oh, it's working. Good. Oh, damn. Ooh. So you saw that, right? It went from kind of red to yellow to green to blue, right? Well, blue is actually the most effective phase of this, and it means it's working full tower. Red is the worst. So now it's doing a bit of a sporadic thing, because this is, boom. So it's not a constant power source. Like I said before, these engines aren't the best for power, but they do the job, and guess you gotta have some sort of power source with this kind of mod pack. But yes, you can see that it's kind of building up towards it, and here we have, okay, the energy. So how much energy is being given every second, and how much is stored. Energy required, oh geez, it's gonna take a long time. So you can actually have a lot of lasers, and you're gonna be powering them with like up to 4 combustion engines at once. So this can be a lot faster, especially if you got power systems from other mods. But yeah, definitely something to look into. But yeah, this makes the chipsets, which you use in the crafting recipe of gates, which is super technical. So now I'm gonna get to the things like the builder, the blueprints library, and the architect table. Now I think this doesn't really need, yeah, so you can change the mod. You don't really need to worry about this too much, all these things on the left. I'm not really sure what they are, must be new to the mod. So what I'm going to do is get straight to the ones that I do know about. This is the builder. So what I'm going to do is put this here. Boom. Okay, that didn't work. Give me an axe. Well, the preparation on this is just terrible. Right, I'm going to get rid of this and put this here. Why aren't you working? Done. And place the builder. Okay guys, I might have to do a bit of a cut because I don't understand. Do you have to be in creative or something? Okay. Give me a second guys, I'm gonna get this sorted out. Well guys, that was really strange. For some reason, I couldn't get the builder to work, but maybe I need to put a blueprint in it. I might check that out later. So for now, I'm just gonna give myself a landmark, or a couple of them, and chuck this here, chuck this here. So I'm gonna show you how these things work. Basically, you place them like this. No, there's one already here. And what you do is you right-click on one of them. Actually, this one is optional or not needed. So I'm gonna right-click on this one, and boom, it makes a square because you've got like the correct kind of axis planned out. You have to right-click on a specific one though to make it your center. And once you've done that, I'm gonna grab this, which is the quarry, and show you guys how it works. So they all drop as items if you've done it right, and it'll turn into this particular kind of grid pattern. Why is it so high? I don't know. Anyway, and as you can see, this is the one that I have in there. It does this big. This is the default grid pattern, but I just made this as a custom. And what you're gonna need is a Stirling engine, or any of the or a combustion engine, or another power source. But I'm just gonna go for that. Some coal and any redstone source. So I'm just gonna use a torch. So I'm gonna need to power this. Boom. And what it does, there we are. So now what this is gonna do, here we are. What it does is it starts placing these. What on earth is it doing? It's like throwing them around. Yeah, that's the weirdest thing. I think it's because it's actually placing them and not. Oh, that's cool. It used to be it would have a little robot thing and kind of shoot them out with lasers, but now it throws them on. That's so cool. Look at this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So, what I'm going to do now is actually go grab a pipe. Any pipe will do, so I'm just going to go for cobble and also grab a chest. Sorry, chest, your time has come. Boop. And I'm going to go through here and do this. Boom. So now any item will actually, any item that's mined will go from here to here to here. A mining chest. So what's going to happen now? Well, actually, I'm not sure because I've never tested out a quarry with this new update. Ah, hell yeah, yeah, of course, the drill. The diamond tip drill. And it'll start doing breakdancing, obviously. Oh, here we are. And because this is a really slow power source, it's going to start doing that now. I did have a fairly wide area to start off with, but it will build these support things around the edges. And if you break any, you can't actually pick them up. But I think, oh, looks like they're just for show, huh? So you can break as many as you want and it'll keep going. That's a bit strange, to be honest. They should have something where, if it, what is this? Just giant, you should have circus music right now. Come on, Ravi, doing the editing. Right, the one and only floating drill. Watch its wondrous. What is this? Anyway, yeah, so it places them. They look cool, but obviously aren't really needed. Anyway, so that's how it works. And also, you'll notice that it's sending these little blocks of dirt through. That is, oh, done quite a bit already. I would usually recommend making this the default area or even bigger because it's, to be honest, it just lasts a lot longer. And while it's true that it'll have to do a lot more dirt clearing, it's just more efficient later on instead of having to constantly move a little quarry like this from here to here to here because when it hits bedrock it just stops. And also, it does have to be added that these drills can be quite effective, especially when you got like a high power source getting them. But next on the list, I'm going to go to the mining well. So this is not as effective, and I told you before, it's not as good. Okay, I need a pickaxe. It's not as good as the quarry. It's just like a lesser version of it, to be honest. And oh yeah, this is gonna stop now since it has no more power. And I'm gonna go to the normal one of these apples. Right. So this is. Oh, didn't want to do that. So the mining well. What the mining well does is, yeah, like I said before, you just chuck in your power source and it will supposedly mine straight down. Hey, come on, mate. What are you doing? Oh, here we are. So it leaves this kind of wire thing, and oh, it's popping out. Quick, your time has come again, chest. The end was not really the end. Right, let's just chuck this. Actually, I think you can just chuck it directly next to it. You don't have to actually have any pipes. Am I wrong? Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, yeah, and it just chucks items out randomly everywhere if you don't have any chest or anything. So, yeah, as you can see, this is going down, and it goes really deep. So if you want to kind of try and find someone base, these are actually kind of effective, more so than the quarry, because this is expensive, and these are actually kind of cheap. So you just use this to try and needlepoint your friend's base, and it can be quite funny actually. And also it's a lot faster because it's only doing one block. These can do, while they can mine straight down, it also has to do a 3x3 kind of building pattern that's also completely useless, as I just proved earlier. But yeah, so this is useful to needlepoint down, and you can also use it if you want to make your own strip mine or something. Like you can kind of make one here and then do one here and try and find a ravine and then have a bucket of water going down so you can go back up or down. So these can be quite useful used in the right circumstances. Now, oh, why are you taking so long to mine? Let's give myself a diamond pickaxe and see how tough you are, huh? What do you think of that? Oh, looks like it takes the same time to mine no matter what tool. And all the wires disappear when you take it out. So let's just pick this up, might need it later, and as well as the chest. Boop. And I'll fix this later. Anyway, next is the architect table. Now, I built this little shrine to Notch. Actually, no, not to Notch, to Windows. Go Windows, yeah, everyone loves Windows, yeah. Sort of. I don't know. To be honest, the whole Windows thing's a bit... I'm kind of okay with it, but I'm also a bit worried about what's going to happen with the Minecraft community. But anyway, this is the architect table. Now, as I said before, this is a bit more complicated than I'm used to it being, but I should be alright with it. So I'm just going to grab these and some dirt. So first off, I'm going to put these around here. And there's already one here. Why do I destroy it and replace it every time? I'm such a OCD kind of guy. So now you can see we got a bit of a kind of a thing around this table. So I'm going to put this here. So we're going to drop. And it looks like it's only the builder that have problems with it. Maybe you need to put a blueprint in it before it works. And this is actually it lets you make blueprints. So you need to have a blueprint. It's actually from the custom NPCs one. Here we are. The blank blueprint. And you make it like paper surrounding a piece of lapis lazuli. So you put that here, and then we'll get. Damn, that was quick. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Diamond from Barter Shrine. I'm gonna get rid of these two because they're not what I want. Looks like it's really quick. I think it might get slower the bigger it is. So now I got a blueprint, and it's named after me, the Diamond Butter Shrine by Ravi 2000. And what I'm going to do is chuck this in the builder in a second. So I'm going to grab the builder actually, and I'll do that in a second. So yeah, the architect table actually lets you have a blueprint of something. So now, even if I destroy this, I've still got the blueprint of it. So even if I totally wreck this thing, there's still the blueprint of it. And if I insert that into a builder, then hopefully what it'll do is rebuild the thing if you put the right materials in it. And also that's what the not an apple. This is also what the blueprint library is for. You put one in, and it takes a second, and bam. So now you can take that out. La 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 la. Oh, and it's still there, I think. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so if you put the blueprint, a blank blueprint, after clicking this into the slot that I'm highlighting right now, I think it will turn into the diamond butter shrine. That's how they work. Yeah, so that's really useful. And it works between worlds, I'm pretty sure. So if you've got a house in this world, say, that you really want it in another, you just need to get your blueprint library, a builder, the right materials, chuck in your blueprint, take it out, put it in the builder, and bam. So now I'm just going to mine this architect table up and replace it with the builder. So now the builder I have got some regards about due to my earlier troubles. Thank God for the cut. Oops. Sorry about that. And so let's right click this and hopefully it'll work now. Okay. Oh, okay. So it already specifies the blueprint. That makes sense because you can't actually set it to do a specific area. It actually has to do the area that the blueprint says it is. And let me just turn off this area. And it'll tell you what you need. So 9 iron blocks, 5 gold, and a diamond. And now we just need to power this baby. The redstone towards some coal. And this good old Stirling engine. And it should start building. There we are. Look at. I love that new animation. Just chucks them out of the thing and places them. It's so cool. Okay. So now I know how this works. I'm sorry about that earlier trouble. That was really silly of me. That is really, really cool. And it works for mods too. Because on the architect table, as you may remember, it had mods and also support. So I'm not exactly sure what they mean by support, but I'm fairly certain that you can select what kind of mods you want. But look at that, that's really cool. So I just rebuilt my my little diamond butter shrine, and so you can use that and along with the blueprint library to do some really cool stuff. Especially if you got like something like this that it took a long time to build. Especially this works especially when you're creative, where I don't think you actually have to put the resources in. You just get an architect table, map out the area, chuck that in a builder. Hook it up to some combustion engines maybe, and just leave that running. Come back later, hopefully they don't blow up, and hey presto, you got this house up again. And it's also quite useful when you got like a residential area. You want to kind of put a bunch of the same houses. Just chuck a Stirling engine, chuck a builder, and you could have the same house kind of 3 times in a row without only having to build one of them. Now the next one is the filler, which is fairly basic machine, but also a very useful one. So these are a little bit different to the landmarks. These are, what are these called again? Path markers. So you right click on these and they'll do a path, but not a 3D shape. So these are like the simpler version. What's that? Oh, it lights it up for a second. That's a bit strange. So I place this and nothing happens. Oh god. What have I done wrong? What have I done wrong? Maybe the filler doesn't work with this? I thought it did. I might just do some path markers for now, because they work the same. I think, these are just cheaper, and they do it like a lesser thing. Let's just take this, and place the filler. Oh, here we are. Okay, so maybe there's something glitched about those path markers, I'm not sure. So let's just check this. Give it a bit of power. Oops. And bam. So now the filler, it's a couple of modes, and oh, there we are, I'm filling up with it. Oh, it even does the sound. And it's got flatten, frame. Flatten is used to get rid of stuff. So now it should destroy them. Frame, I think you can use to make a kind of cross. If there's, what's wrong with you, buddy? What's wrong with you? Seem a little bit broken. Horizon. I don't think there's really much of a difference since I'm doing a 2D thing. If I did a 3D thing though, the filler can be quite useful for basic shapes. So stairs, a box, and clear just gets rid of everything in that particular area. So that's pretty useful too. If there's a big building you want to get rid of, but you can't be bothered totally destroying it all, just chuck this in and it'll pop out. Good as new. Oh yeah, you're getting good. I'm such an achievement. But yeah, I think that about sums it up for this episode, guys. The rest I'm going to be doing next episode. And yeah, so see you soon, guys.